Awesome, awesome. Love the hat.
Thank you very much. It's a hat world, that's for sure.
It's a hat world. Top
I love your
marketers
hat.
wear hats.
I love your hat. I love your hat. It looks good on you. Hey, I want to welcome everybody. You're watching Digital Wheaties. We're at digitalwheaties.com right now. This is an internet training forum. Today we're going to be joined by Viktor. This guy's amazing. I know that many of you know who Viktor is. The guy's legendary already. He is a legend in many areas, but the people who are right now beginning to work with Viktor are blown away. Today we're a continuation actually of something that we started prior, getting into this concept of Facebook avatars and what the opportunity really is there. So we've only got about an hour to spend here today. So Viktor, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you're looking great, my friend.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing out there? Just say in the chat where you're tuning in from, what stage of business you're at. I posted recently on my Facebook wall, it actually got pretty good response. I said, I'm looking for people who are past the point of just getting started. What do you think about that? It's like everyone always uses that buzzword, oh, I'm just getting started, or I want to sell to people who are just getting started. What if we actually focused on a different market? What if we focused on the people who already went through that? Maybe they've been in a company before, they've already gotten started, and this is the one that's going to tip them to that massive success that they've been promised all these times, but they haven't yet achieved with a company. That's why I'm here at U Economy, to help Peter bring this vision into the world. So I'm really excited to be here. And I just was coming up with a cool title for today. I'm calling it the U Funnel Avatars and Building Your Living Funnel. Now, I came up with this idea of a living funnel. My competitors, Russell Brunson and Lead Pages, in the funnel system that we're using, their philosophy is let the users decide. They can upload any kind of image they want. They can change the buttons that they want. And here's the problem with that. We've tested that, and most people buy a system for like $300 a month, and they do absolutely nothing with it. And then every month that bill comes in, pretty soon they've spent $1,000, and they still haven't built their funnel. That's because a funnel starts in the mind. It doesn't exist just because you buy some software and all of a sudden you have a funnel. I'm trying to convey that to you. You've got to go through the burn. You have to go through this process, and it might be painful because it's going to push the buttons about what you've learned. Like I went to college and I studied marketing, and I got a C. Now I'm a marketing professional. But marketing in college is different than marketing on the internet. Marketing on the internet isn't even marketing. It's actually social engagement, or what I call digital engagement. With my partner Bob, we have a company called Digital Engagement Group, and I coined this term. I have a background in SEO, and Bob coined the term search engine optimization. I coined the term search engine engagement because I think that's what's happening now. We see a convergence. I've talked about this before, but you want to pay attention to this. Your funnel is going to prepare people just like a team, a hockey team. I like hockey or soccer. Actually, let's use soccer as an example. Football, as it's called in the UK and Australia and all those great countries. But if you think about your funnel as building your team, and every email message you send and every video is like a player, and you have like 12 teams out there, you're still going to need that person that's going to kick the ball in the goal. The purpose of the team is to get the ball close to the goal. Okay, but what's going to make them cross over is that pivotal moment where they make a decision to purchase from you and not from someone else. And there's going to be a time, and there's nothing you can really do about it, where they're going to Google you, they're going to Google your company, and they're going to Google everything that they can find about it. They're also going to Google the other leaders. And they're going to say, well, which leader do I want to join? Okay? It's going to happen. That's why the people typically who do the best in this business are the ones that provide what's called bonus value. My bonuses are better than your bonuses. If you join my team, you're going to get these bonuses. But here's the problem with that. A lot of those bonuses don't really support the whole, okay? It's not just enough that one team has the best bonuses and then now everyone jumps on that team, and then other people out there that are not part of a team, they don't get involved at all. So I think that that's kind of an outdated model. I think more of a heart connection and the access to what I call campaigns. And we're building this campaign structure into the living funnel system right now. Imagine this. Everything I've been teaching you about funnels, and I taught in New York, and I've been doing, I told you I have like 200 slide decks teaching you everything from search engine optimization to marketing strategy to email SEO to how to craft an email sequence. All of that stuff, I'm planning on delivering that as a campaign and making that campaign available to everyone, okay? Everyone can use that campaign freely to promote their business if they want to. Someone else might have a campaign on how to do coaching calls. Once you have a prospect, and this is what I think, it's a 15-minute coaching call. What I found in my sales calls that I've done for my business, 15 minutes produces a higher conversion rate than the 1-hour call, okay? If it takes me an hour to explain to someone what the business is, I haven't done my homework, I haven't done my funnel right. The funnel is to prepare them to be close enough to the goal that you can kick the ball in the goal. So on that note, I just want to pass it back to you, Joe, and just summarize what I said in plain English. Back to you.
Well, I want to just say that, you know, I am a 20-plus year veteran of direct selling. And I made my first 7 figures before the internet was invented by Al Gore, right? I made a killing just doing conference calls and fax on demand. So that's kind of where that's what my roots are. And when the internet showed up, I remember when Facebook came on. I want to say that I was one of the very first wave of Facebook. And I was like, what is this even for? You know, what is this about? Same thing with some other, you know, Instagram. And I'm like, really? What does that have to, what does Twitter have to do? So I was late to the game. And I would say, quite frankly, that, you know, I owned a company. I was the owner of a top tier company. And one of the reasons the company ran out of gas is because we were behind the curve on this internet marketing thing, you know? And so although I am a seasoned veteran, I'm also a novice. I'm also just getting started. And so I'm really excited. You know, I confessed last night to you that an avatar, I'm like, really? A fan page? I'm finally getting accustomed to having, like, I've often joked that Facebook is like the Antichrist. I got the Antichrist now on my screen. Now I've got to have a fan page too in the same face. You know, so, you know, having you here and, you know, the way that you explain stuff is quite easy to digest and understand. I love the idea of a living funnel. And I also agree with you that when you give people too many choices, they do nothing. The idea that I would be able to create my own living funnel and give me all these choices and I can, you know, cut and paste and click and drag and I'm going to have a funnel that's effective, forget about it. What a waste of time.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
It is mind-boggling. And I also know
sense if we come together and we build a funnel that works for a community, and that community could be subdivided into different niches. And then we build that funnel and then we share it among people within a certain market. That's going to be far more effective than all these people out there trying to create custom funnels for themselves. So yeah, thanks for bringing Liz on. Z Christiana.
I love that.
Oh wait, there's Valerie Braca here.
Well, there's oh, that's, I didn't, how did that happen? Hold on. Let me, Valerie, hang on. I'm going to drop you back down into the pool here. Let me go.
And if you guys have something you want me to cover, now would be a good time to write it in the chat. Like if you have this burning question, because how I'm going to structure this is I'm going to share with you a 10 to 15 minute PowerPoint that gives you the overview of the strategy. Then we're going to go through a brief interview process, which I want every single one of you to do with your avatar. And then I'm going to actually create some slides on how to tactically set up your campaign inside of MailChimp. Then if we have time, we're also going to go in to Joe's account and set him up live so that we actually have Joe's system set up exactly the way that yours will be. Okay, that's my goal. It's very ambitious to try to do that in an hour. If we can't do it all in one sitting, we'll do it in a part 2. But I'm happy to stay on after if you are as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Please.
If I can make one more comment, Z is in the queue there. One more comment, if I may.
Yeah.
You know, I would say, and this is for the viewers right now, a sales funnel is actually science. What I've understood working with people who build sales funnels, effective sales funnels, there's so much thought, experience that must go into it. So if you think that you've got the talent and you've got the skill set to build an effective sales funnel, then you should join the corporate team, because it's very, very difficult. It is science. You know, where do the human eyes go on the page? What color is going to draw out emotion from people? I mean, the timing of the videos, all of this stuff I know is science, and it's been trial and error and testing. So for those of you, this is like killer stuff, right? If you're joining us for the first time, you have somebody who understands the science behind sales funnels, willing to build one for us all to use. What a bonus.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Liz, if you can turn on your mic, let me see if you're there. Say hello.
I've unmuted her. Liz? There are two separate.
She has a mic.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's two. She's come in here twice.
Okay, well, we'll see if she can speak.
Unmuted.
Let's see if we can get her. You there?
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, let's lock the camera on my screen share. Okay. Are you seeing my screen?
I am.
Great, great, great. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to answer some of the questions that I saw coming through the chat in a moment, but I'm just going to give you this introduction real briefly here. And I'm going to call this presentation, actually, we're going to do this. I learned this from my mentor, Alex Mendoza. And I don't know if you know Alex. Alex is a great marketer. He's one of those, I don't know, I guess he's an 8 or 9 figure marketer. Very, very talented individual. Love you, Alex. If you ever see this replay, thank you for sharing your wisdom with me. Okay, and he taught me this one thing. Whenever you're starting a segment, because you're going to probably turn it into post-production later, you kind of do all of the preamble stuff, but then when you're serious, you kind of count down from 3 to 1, you clap your hands because it actually puts a little spike on the video and allows you to create a clean cut. So that way you can design these things into segments. And you want to start thinking about your videos. If you're doing an hour-long video, you want to think that's 4 segments, maybe 5. Every hour-long video you shoot in a webinar, you can repurpose that into a funnel, okay? So I'm calling this presentation, You Funnel Avatars and Building Your Living Funnel, and we're going to start the countdown now. 3, 2, 1, hit it. Hello, everyone. I'm Victor Grant, and we're going to be talking about the living funnel and the U funnel system specifically, which is a specific adaptation of the living funnel system for the company known as U Economy. And I'm really, really excited to be here and share this with you. The question I want to ask all of you who are watching this, and if you're watching a replay, please write it in the comments below. Why do we need so many funnels? Isn't one just good enough? Every other company out there says, hey, I have this great sales funnel. It works for everybody. Why do we need so many different funnels? We have 3. We're probably going to have more later. But right now, I want you to answer in the chat, why do we need so many funnels? And Joe, if you want to just echo some of the things that people are saying, it's really important that we get this, out there so people understand. Because a lot of people here have already heard me before, and you understand why we're doing this, okay? What are people saying, Joe?
Well, people are still kind of like, they're still thinking about the comments that we had a little bit earlier today They want to have a different perspective. There are different kinds of people, and that's the reason that you want to have different sales funnels, different perspectives, different niches, different budgets. I'm not sure about that, but different budgets. But some people, I guess, they're getting that there's going to be a variety of people, right? There's going to be different personalities and different people in the target market. So I guess people are their market segmentation, needs of an audience. Valerie says different strokes for different folks. Karen says depends on the audience. Cookie cutter systems ignore that people aren't cookies. Thank you for that, Lofty. I love that one. So that's a handful of the comments that we're getting in here.
Exactly, exactly. So thank you, thank you. So summary of all of that together is one size does not fit all. Okay, the corollary to that is the more specific and micro-targeted you make your funnel to your audience, the more profitable you will be within that particular market segment. There are like 2 billion people on Facebook right now. That's like 20% of the world's population. So the ability for you to segment will not only save you money on your spend, it's going to increase your bottom line, your profit. If you spend $1,000 on advertising and you make $2,000 back, you're going to want to invest more money in advertising. But what if you spend $1,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 on a company, a project, or whatever? And I know some of you have done that in the past, and you make nothing at all. How are you going to feel about investing the next time? So I'm here to share with you that it's okay. Start with wherever you're at, but never brand yourself as I'm just getting started. Okay, never. That's the kiss of death. Because the people who are just getting started, they're the 98% of the people that the top 2% profit off of in every company across the board in the whole network marketing industry. So you never want to be getting started, okay? Promise yourself, I am never going to be getting started ever again. All right, so what is the only goal of a headline? And I know many of you already know the answer to this, but write the answer in the chat. Joe, what are people saying?
Come on, you guys, let's see. Curiosity, attract customers.
Yes.
Okay. Create curiosity, of course. Get attention of the candidate. Capture attention. Get their attention in 8 seconds. Somebody must have been on one of our prior Zooms, the 8-second rule. To open the email. I think curiosity, right? You want to get people to say, what is this? Correct?
I think it's also provoke. Okay, you want to push them. I'm going to put that right in there. You want to push them a little bit. It's a push strategy. Okay, there's another slide I can bring up here, but it's a push pull. Push pull. Let me bring up that slide before I go any further, because this is such an important thing. Everything you need to know about marketing. My partner Bob came up with this idea. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Let me see if I can find that slide. Maybe you could read some of the comments while I'm finding it.
Okay, get action, click button, opt in. Resonate with their pain. Ooh. To create curiosity, get them to read your ad. Anybody else? Thank you very much for that one, Kelly. There we go.
Okay, push, PR, and ads. Pull, search, and retargeting. Okay, PR and ads, push, search, pulls. What is blogging? Blogging is search. That's the pull. Many people out there, especially in the internet marketing world, they push, 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 but they're not actually pulling. Okay, I don't know if you've ever been in a tug of war. I've been in one of these huge tug of wars with a big, those big, like you've got mud, and it's really, there's like 300 people on each side. I don't know if you've ever been in one of those, but it's a total hoot. And there's a part where you feel like you're going to lose. And I remember my team, what we did is we said, okay, let go for a while. And we let go, allowing the other team to win. And then that release allowed us to get enough momentum to pull back suddenly, and we won. A very, very important lesson. All of your marketing is designed to push people, push people, push people, push people. You have to have that other component, the pull. And very few people know how to do the pull. The people who know how to do the best pull strategists I know right now are Frank Kern, Ryan Dice, Ryan Levesque, to a certain degree. The pushy guys are like Russell Brunson, Tony Robbins, you know, those kind of guys. So you want to think about the different type of aspects you have and see, you know, which personality you feel comfortable with. And if you're already good with that personality, you want to switch to the other personality and study people who have mastered the other personality. Okay? So search is a pull strategy. So if you say something, hey, like go to Google and look up my article on blah, 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 blah. So for me, it would be like Marketing Strategy by Cutler. That's one of my favorite articles. If you Google that and you find Marketing Strategy by Cutler, you'll see that my blog shows up like at the very, very top of the search engines. So that's an example. It adds credibility. If people can Google you and they go, wow, this guy's for real. And the way you do that is by blogging. So you actually do need to do, I know a lot of people, blogging has run out of fashion and everyone's on Facebook now. But until you have your own website and your own blog, you're going to miss out on 90% of the pull strategy. And the search and the pull strategy is the thing that's going to cause people to buy from you. That's why a lot of people who are very successful in this business, they use, if they don't necessarily have a blog, they have YouTube channels. YouTube channels are great ways to pull. My recommendation is work on building a YouTube channel that has short videos that preview long videos inside of your custom funnel. You don't want to put long videos on YouTube, especially if you're talking about any of the things that YouTube does that violates their terms of use, which is talking about any kind of business opportunity, network marketing opportunity, sales process. You're supposed to be putting content or how-to information on YouTube. But the strategy is don't put the long stuff on YouTube, put that on Vimeo. And I'm just going to just say that's what I do. I put short stuff on, like, I like doing a lot of music stuff. So I have like, I go shoot the Doobie Brothers and things like that. And then I take bands and rock music and things like that. I put them on my YouTube channel. And then I talk about myself as a marketer. I get people into my funnel. And then from there, I enroll them into my various projects. So whatever your marketing method is, that's up to you. But short videos work better on YouTube. Long videos work better in Vimeo. Okay? Also, YouTube reads all the words that you say in your video. So if you say something, you could have your account get completely shut off. And it's your word against theirs. And I've had several accounts shut off because of who I am. I'm a pushy person. I was able to push Google and YouTube to turn my accounts back on, but that's because I had to exert leverage. But you don't want to have to go through that process. What you want to do is just focus on keeping your YouTube channel squeaky clean and use it for curiosity. Okay? Remember, curiosity belongs in the public sector. Your really good stuff, your pull strategy belongs in your blog and in the private sector, in your funnels, in your pages, in your email sequences. Okay? Got it? I'm going to actually put one slide here. It's part of a larger presentation. Search is word of mouth on steroids. Internet search has supplanted all other means of product research, including directories and WOM. The opportunity to intercept demonstrated purchase intent, and this is a very important slide here. What we're going to be talking about here with your funnel, and anything you do in Facebook is going to be pretty much the same way. You're going to have your Chevy sign next to a Ford dealership. Got it? That's the way you want to think about it. Well, you wouldn't have a McDonald's sign next to a Ford dealership, would you? You would have a Chevy sign next to a Ford dealership. That's why we have to do these micro niches. So while I switch back to the other slide, Joe, your comments. And any other comments that I've seen, the chat room is blowing up over here. So,
right. Craig wants to know, can the push be a bit confrontational or challenging to get their attention?
it has to be. It has to be. Today, people are completely not paying attention. And the people who actually get attention, they are in your face. They wear orange hats. They have something distinctive or weird about them, or furry hats, or they put on googly eyes, or they do those weird hangouts where you have like a beach behind you and you have like little, I don't know if you've seen those hangouts, you know, where they have like sunglasses and there's all these people on the hangout. So anything to get people's attention right now you want to do, but you want to also come across as professional once you've got them in your domain. You have to make it fun. If it's not fun, people will get bored and they're going to leave. So yes, it needs to be confrontational. And I would suggest the push is a push. But you want to do it with integrity. Okay. You want to if you're gonna give someone tough love, make sure you follow it with a pull. You need to widen back and give them space. That's one of the reasons why I started writing a specification for the You Coach system. And let me share that with you. I know I'm digressing here, but Joe, let me know if you think this is an accurate thing. We're building a model into the new You funnel that we're developing right now called gamification. I don't know if you know what gamification is, but hypothetically, let's suppose you have a prospect. They opt into your funnel and they never open a single email. You send them email after email after email, and they don't open a single email. But they signed up for a coaching call. Should that coach call them up and try to sell them immediately into your business? They haven't watched any of your videos. They don't even know who you are. They haven't been to any seminars. You have no idea. And then now you have this coach calling them up and saying, hey, buy this product for $3,000. You're going, what? No. What the coach needs to do, call them up and say, hey, I noticed that we've been sending you emails, but are you getting them? Maybe, why don't you check your spam folder? And then they're going to go, wow, oh my God, there's all these great emails sitting there. I didn't even know that. All right, well, how about I teach you how to take all those emails from your spam folder and drag them to your inbox so future emails that come from us, they'll be right there for you. Oh, great. Okay, so then he teaches them how to do that. And then he says, all right, so how about I follow up with you maybe next week sometime after you've had a chance to go through all those emails. Have a great day. Hangs up the phone. That's going to convert 5 to 10 times better than a hard-selling coach trying to close them on the first sale. Okay? Compare that to someone that we've tracked, and let's say they have a game score of like 200 or 300. Every email, they've opened it up, they're responding. They've clicked through on almost every single email. They watched your videos all the way to the end. You can log into your back office and you see they're on step 7. Okay? Maybe they've even purchased a small ebook for $9 or $10 from you or something like that. Then you have a coach, give that data to the coach. Now the coach calls him up and say, hey, how did you like the book you bought? How did you like the ebook? Wow, it's fantastic, but I have these questions. Oh, okay, well, let me see if I can answer them. If not, I'll get back to you. Okay, and then you handle their objections, you find out what's there, and then you say, okay, so you ready to get started? And what does that mean? I said, well, we have a couple of options. Our top tier is 50,000, and then from there we have a 25K program, and we've got other things like that that can be available to you. That's going to be like a 15-minute call, and it's going to potentially close somebody in your business much better. That's the purpose of the funnel. My goal is to give you guys the tools you need to generate that correct coaching environment so that when you talk to your prospect, that 15 minutes is well spent in a way that they're engaged, they understand what you're talking about, they've done their homework, they're following instructions, and they're responding to you. Only then, I think, with integrity, do you have the right to sell them. I'm actually going to coin that term. I'm going to make it into, it's called the right to sell. And you hold back the right to sell as long as you can before you even offer. One of the best marketers I know, who's a mentor, he would train for 6 to 10 hours and he wouldn't ask. There was no buy button. There was nowhere to go buy anything. That was it. He would just train, and then wait a couple of weeks. People go, wait a second. Where's more? How do I get more? Sorry, nothing else to do right now. And then he sent out like one simple email with just a colon and a smiley face, and he had an 85% open rate, and every single person bought his offer like that. And all of us who were affiliates that did that, we produced a 10-fold return on our advertising investment. That was crazy. I've never seen a launch like that with any marketer anywhere. All right, so having said that, I'd like to bring it back to Joe and Liz, if you're on audio, share a little bit about this while I get back on track with the PowerPoint. Joe, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
All right, what do you think about what I'm sharing with you today?
Well, I think it's awesome. You know, I think that what you're sharing is like some hard truths that people need to understand. This idea of educating the coaches, so the coaches know who they're speaking with, is going to be critical. It's critical for the coaches so they're not wasting their time because they're incentivized by making money. It's going to be critical for the members, okay, because you don't want to blow what could be a potential candidate out of the water with a hard, I'm going to twist your arm, white knuckle close. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I can speak on behalf. I can see right here, Mark Goldenberg, Goldie says, I like the sound of that. And I do like the sound of that. You know, like these are the kind of things that make U economy so unique, okay? Because most people are just trying to sell stuff. They're trying to sell stuff to members, and they're trying to enroll you and upsell you. And this is really good, valid information. There's also something that I came up in an earlier radio show I did today. It has to do with, like, I think you mentioned last night that one of the big autoresponder companies actually will remove your candidates if they're not opening up emails without alerting the list owner. I know people who have
GetResponse.
GetResponse. I think that's something that
it's actually a Gmail specific situation. I found that I had this very high bounce rate on people who had opted into one of my lists in GetResponse. Okay, and I noticed that the bounce rate would fluctuate. It didn't make any sense because it's the same list. I sent them an email a day ago and a couple of days ago, and all of a sudden now my bounce rate is like much higher. And if they, I mean, what I believe, I can't prove it, but I believe that if Gmail sees that it's coming from an autoresponder company and people are not consistently doing it, Gmail does have the right to do that because you're not paying anything for Gmail. Any free email service has the right, if they choose to, not deliver. I mean, a lot of people don't realize this. By signing a free email contract, you waive all rights to your privacy. All of the content you send is their property, not yours. And they can do anything they want to, including, but not limited to, delivering the message to any party or removing it. So what they do is they trigger a bounce. And then that bounce gets registered by GetResponse. And after 3 bounces, they remove that person from the list entirely without your permission. And what I saw was my list of like 10,000 people in the campaign went down to like 3,000 people. The more I sent to them, the deeper they went into my funnel, the smaller my list became. It was crazy. So that's why I recommend using GetResponse, because they told me, and I had a very, very difficult, well, let's say, I'm a kind of a pushy guy when it comes to being wronged. And I went as high as you could possibly go with their management to basically make it known that I was not happy that they were unsubscribing my people that I paid money for, those leads, without my permission. I was not a happy camper.
And I apologize to the audience because I kind of shifted gears on you here, Victor. We were talking specifically about stuff, but all of a sudden we got some chatter here. Goldie says, I had one with MailChimp last night, add new member, it got listed as cleared. Robert Bundy says, Dr. B, is there a specific email carrier? Susan says, Gmail sorts even more. Valerie says, what is a good alternative to Gmail? Craig
All
says,
right.
do you recommend a daily? It's interesting because all of a sudden we just get into this little side and boom, this explodes with conversation. I would say, based on my own experiences, that Gmail is actually for amateurs. Okay, when I receive Gmail, when I receive an email and it's from a Gmail address, I usually discount it. I usually go like, okay, well, whatever, because I think that we are professionals. We have to brand ourselves. Like my brand, I have a brand, and my brand is long. Okay, my brand. Well, I've got a couple, but for example, I've got a brand that's networking for grown-ups. But so now what I use for an email address, and you may know this, my email address is joe@nw4g.com. That's an abbreviation, networking for grownups, nw4g.com.
I like that.
It's unique, right? No one knows it. And when I say it to people, they get it, right? And I always say it's N as in Nancy, W as in win, the number 4, G as in good.com. And people remember it. And it's married to networking for grownups. So I think that, every single one of us have to take a look at our business and our brand and go get, what I do is I get my domains from GoDaddy. I use Rackspace, which is an email client, an email server, and I just build and manage my email addresses from there. And then it brands me, you know.
Let me tell you the service I've used for more than a decade, and I talked to the founders. They're in Australia. It's called Fastmail, and you can get a 10% discount on it through that link, egr.me/I1N. We have our own tiny URL system, and so that's going to actually link you through. There's just a discount code because I know them, and that's if you want to use that. That's what I recommend. It's the only email service I personally use. Whenever you send emails to uFunnel, basically all of my emails, I have like, I don't know, maybe 50 or 100 different domains, and they're all neatly organized into this one mail account. It has logic, such as if an email comes in with this wording and this subject line, forward this to that person so I can have my whole organizational structure running through my email. Everything shows up inside of the inbox. I share this with a couple of colleagues and they love it, so I recommend Fastmail. And then you can also set up your DNS in there. This is a whole nother thing, but you can actually set up DKIM and SPF, which is really important for inboxing. That's a more advanced topic, but we can come back to that.
Yeah, again, I apologize for getting us off topic here.
But I gave
really
you those
do.
links so you can find it, and you can put that link in the chat.
Yeah, everybody here is GetResponse is awesome for so many things. I've been told it's better than
It is. GetResponse is awesome, but you will lose your list. Okay, if you want to build your list, use MailChimp, and that's just been my conclusion. Having tried Aweber, GetResponse, I've been using Aweber for almost 20 years, maybe even longer. I started using Aweber in '94. How many years is that? That's too many
22.
years.
That's 23 years. That's 23 years. Wow.
Yeah. And for me to say that MailChimp is better, it's got to be really good. So give it a shot. Okay, so let's get going into back on track here. Provoke curiosity. If you want people to click and read, you must make them curious. I looked at which emails got my attention. The headline has to have something that keeps curiosity, and then the next line is going to motivate them to open and read what's inside. And you want to speak to a specific niche or a micro niche. I've gone over this before. This is some questions you can ask. I got to go quicker. What is a micro niche? It's a tiny audience with a bigger audience. You want to drill it down. And this is an exercise in asking your avatar. And you want to base, these are mostly demographics and psychographics. Now, we talked about your avatar journey, okay? Your avatar journey is your opt-in page. Today, we're going to be talking about the email sequence. That's the next stage, okay? We moved from your opt-in page, but now we're going to go into your email sequence. And remember, we talked about goals and values, sources of information, demographics, challenges and pain, and objections. So on that note, while we have this slide up, I want to bring Christiana on if she can unmute. And if she can, great. Are you there? Hello, you there?
I've
Victor, can you hear
unmuted
me?
her. Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
Okay, so this is a rare opportunity. Z is my avatar, and she's the one that I'm focusing on building a custom funnel with and for, and also I want to attract more people like her into my business. So what are some of your goals and values with your online marketing?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be as succinct and salient and sexy as possible to get attention and obviously to optimize flow, if you will, through the system.
And what kind of magazines do you read? What kind of publications do you read? How do you get your information, and where do you get your information from? What search engines do you use?
You know, I use everything online. I'm 100% digital. You know, I've got a couple different Facebook identities that I use, and primarily I use both Apple products as well as Windows products. I don't know. On one of my Facebook profiles, I have 18,000 pages I subscribe to. Somehow I snuck that in. That you were only supposed to be able to subscribe to 5,000, but somehow I have 18,000 on there. And most of them are set to alert whenever they update. So I'm immediately notified on all of those. I like to be I don't know, I'm intrigued with AI and the implementation of AI to the greatest degree possible in terms of a push and a pull.
Cool. So you can see that she's not just getting started, right? So what are some of the challenges and pain that you're experiencing with this whole online space?
Branding, getting started, and really chunking down the goals, and then taking 1, 2, 3 steps. Keeping it simple, having the big picture idea and the excitement of that, and then the daily foundation that puts that together.
Okay, and what objections do you have to the space? I'm gonna actually go to the book here and look on that, what they said about objections. Why would you choose not to buy, hypothetically, U Economy? Like what is the biggest reason why you haven't bought U Economy, or you wouldn't buy it?
I'm grinning here just a little bit, gritting my teeth. Well, I was introduced to the company by you in exploration of putting a funnel together for another company. Well, while we were on that conversation, started Googling the company, looking at the website, looking at the leaders, looking at what they were doing on Facebook. I mean, I searched as quick as I could, as fast as I could, and that's how I found Peter. And the only reason I even started paying attention outside of yourself was how impressed I was with Peter.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that from day one, and that's been at least 3 months. I don't know. It was sometime in the month of May.
Yeah, Joe, can you unmute?
Yes, I'm unmuted.
Okay. Do you see how crucial it is that I speak to this type of an avatar differently? Do you see how sophisticated she is?
Yes, I do. She does understand. She has background. She clearly is intelligent and experienced in this realm.
And if I was doing one of those canned emailers or those crappy landing pages, I'm not going to say what company, but you probably know who I'm talking about, that had these long pages with all these blinking benefits and bullets and all that garbage, would that actually appeal to someone like her or not?
No, I don't believe that it would. And I would say that this is the kind of, Christiana, I don't want to refer to you in the third person, but Chris, this is the individual that I would like to have in my sphere, right? If somebody's looking at my business, this is the level of conversation discussion I want to have. I'm tired of dragging people kicking and screaming who, they're busy watching TV and, they're calling in from a payphone if they can even find one. Right?
Yeah, because they can't afford a cell phone.
Exactly.
How many cell phones do you have?
Right. Me? I've got a bunch of cell phones.
Now, Chris, how many cell phones do you have?
Victor, you're asking me?
Yeah.
I have 2.
See? Okay. And you've got both Macs and PCs.
Yes.
You're a sales professional. Okay. Now imagine if a coach calls up and they are not as good as a salesperson as you. Would you respond to them? Would you?
No.
Okay. That's what we're talking about, my friends. Okay. And I was going to call you. You're also a super affiliate. Okay. I want you to sell all of my stuff. And in fact, you've agreed to sell all my other stuff. I have some software that you want to sell. You approached me about that. And I also want you to get a commission from the other people that I want to sell my software. So you're a super affiliate. So I'm calling you Super Affiliate Liz. That's like your name. So whenever I'm writing my email, I'm going to say, Dear Super Affiliate Liz. Then you see how my language is going to change. Okay. So let me pull up the coaching email series while and Joe, I'm going to have you share your screen.
Okay.
Guys,
we're running.
Is this valuable? Let's see in the chat while we're bringing up Joe's screen. Do you get why it's so important that you define your avatar? Okay. I made the decision. I'm building a product right now called Repulsive Marketing, and it's coming out soon. And the basic idea is, instead of identifying your target audience, or you want to identify all the people you don't want in your business, make all the criteria of all the pain cases that you don't want joining your company. And what's left over is going to be the type of people you want in your business. And it's going to be a revelatory process for yourself. I think Repulsive Marketing is going to be a big hit. I'm probably going to write a book on it. But I think it's the most powerful thing you can do. And it's also a way that we have a professional digital marketing agency. We use repulsive marketing strategies with our clients' campaigns all the time. Like, let's say if we're doing a campaign for a wedding company, we want to exclude people that are single, right? They wouldn't want to buy a wedding. Why should we spend that ad dollar getting in front of people who are single? Okay. We also went so far as we found out that most of our clients in this wedding business, they were actually the parents that were the target audience. So instead of targeting the bride and the groom, we targeted their parents, and all of a sudden our sales tripled. These are the kind of things you learn from being in the agency space. I want to pass some of that knowledge on to you so that you can apply that to your business. Joe, back to you.
I think it's a great idea. And as I'm looking at the clock, we only got about 10 minutes left here. And so, you know what, you had mentioned to me earlier, Victor, that maybe we should, do a continuation of this, and maybe we should set up a series so people can really pay attention to what we're doing. I'm looking right now at the chat, and people seem to be, suddenly they're discussing whether or not they should have the www in my redirect. And we have some side conversations developing here. Take out the dub, add the HTTPS. And so I'm thinking that, well, as you know, people, they have an attention span usually of 4 seconds or so.
Yes.
And so what I'm thinking, so what I'm thinking, and so I'm thinking is maybe we should, we can wrap this segment, and then we'll set another time. Maybe we can reconvene on Friday in Digital Witties, or I know that you're busy.
Well, I have a meeting on, let's see, what time is it?
Well, it's at that same time. Yeah, it's it's out here where we live. It would be 10 o'clock in the morning on Pacific Standard Time. Are you on the West Coast? Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm in the West Coast. Yeah.
Right. So it would be 10 o'clock. Or because we have such an attentive audience, although they are losing their attention here, although Kelly Watt is really digging repulsive marketing. I really.
I know.
That is cool. So I'm thinking maybe it would be better if we, people, there's a lot to absorb here. I'll post this up so people can revisit and see it again. We have the one from last night, the one from today, and then we can reconvene at a time that would be convenient for people, and pick this conversation up so we can have everyone's undivided attention. And one thing I wanted to say, and maybe you can comment on this, is that, and I have this right here. It's on my notepad. It says, Facebook videos suck by and large. You know, when you're talking about repulsive marketing, you're talking
Yeah.
about some of these guys who really know what they're doing and they've got all kinds of stuff going on so they can get your attention.
Right.
One of the things that's driving me away from Facebook right now is everyone's streaming on Facebook. It's like I can't even get to the birthdays anymore, or the happy cat or the Chewbacca mama stuff anymore, because everyone's like, I just wanted to say hello, people. So maybe we should talk about that at some point in the future. And Susan says videos with purpose. That's actually her wheelhouse. She does a training on video on purpose. And Susan
Yeah.
says it drives me insane. So there's a lot of things that we can do here to add on to this discussion that people are really excited about. But as far as building my fan page, I am frothing at the mouth for you to coach me up on building a fan page. Okay, because I want to do this, man. I want to really, really be efficient and do this. And I have an opportunity. I have a platform as a radio host and as a teacher. If you can coach me up, we can really help some people build up some Facebook fan pages that will really take their business to the next level. This is foundational stuff, right? Everybody wants to be an internet guru. People want to get into the marketing space, the internet marketing space. And people are willing to buy stuff. And there are plenty of people who are selling stuff that really don't apply. It's like you don't begin building the skyscraper on the 10th floor, right? You've got to have the foundation, and some of the stuff you're bringing to the table is here's lofty. Yes, fan page, instruction, please. I think that's cool. Terry Smith, me too, fan page, help. Victor, thank you for your direction, says Dr. B. So, that's what I think. And I apologize again. I got us started on email marketing and what about, domains and, so I will do my best in our next session to just keep it on topic, and let's learn how to build a fan page, and we'll archive it. And Kelly Watt, get those 10,000 plus likes. Improve my fan page, says Karen.
Okay, I do know how to get to 10,000 likes. Okay. We're going to be doing some experiments here where I'm going to have a brand new page. It has 0 people on it, and I'm going to have 10,000 likes on it in less than a week. Okay.
Let me be the guinea pig. All right, let's get 10,000 likes on I volunteer. And I want to say this. Okay, let me bring something up that came up this morning on the radio show. Craig, he's in here right now. He's making comments.
Yeah.
Last night on the Zoom hangout we did last night, Craig invited a prospect. Although I don't like that word, he invited a candidate, someone who was looking at U-Economy, and they came to the event and they wanted to learn about the products, the compensation plan. They were looking for your standard, your pitch show, and what they got was you. And they got the training that we did last night. And the guy was blown away by what he saw. And as a matter of fact, Craig this morning said to me, he goes, that beta test, that thing that Victor's doing where he's going to hard code your URL, into the funnel. He said, my guy wants to be a part of that. He's like, but does he have to be a member first? I'm like, duh. Yeah, he's got to have a funnel first. But my point is that this content and the stuff you're bringing is so valuable that prospects are wanting to get started in the company because of the stuff that you're teaching us here.
Well, if you could pass that along to Peter and John, I would like to have that approach, because realistically, if it was me, okay, I like that there is a PDF that explains the comp plan. I like that there is a pre-recorded video that explains the comp plan. I don't think we need to restate the comp plan every Tuesday and Thursday night. If people are interested in the comp plan, they should watch the comp plan video. Nicholas Negroponte, who was the inside back cover columnist of Wired magazine, said there's no need for live videos except with audience interaction and serving their needs. Everything else can be done on demand. So what we want to do is have an on-demand library of how-to trainings like the one I gave you yesterday. In 7 minutes, I teach you how to edit a video with a free tool. Did you watch that? Is that cool or what?
I did, but I don't know that the rest of the community has seen it unless we dropped it into the chat.
We can't
I don't-
release it yet. We can't
Okay.
release it yet, but we're going to release it when the UFunnel 2.0 launches. And there's going to be a whole series, all these training videos are going to be inside of your UFunnel. So don't worry, they're all going to be there. But we're going to be focusing, what I'd like to focus on with you, Joe, is the tactical strategies that cause people to succeed in their business and calling people out on the successes that they're having. And then that standard stuff that other companies do, let's put that somewhere where they can just watch it. That's one of the steps of the funnel sequence. I mean, some people respond to a 20-minute comp plan video. Other people like me, you know, I want to hit page down. Yeah, it looks great. So where do I sign? There are different types of people.
Well, I'm playing with the math here right now. I mean, if we can just get a handful, like you're talking about 10,000 views, if we can get a handful of people here who are all in sync and we're getting that kind of activity, we actually can blow up the internet. We can get millions of people finding out about UEconomy like in a nanosecond. And what does that really do to each and every one of our businesses? Correct?
Exactly. But 10,000 views won't be free, but it will be 10 times less if you have an avatar. That's what I'm saying, is you got to do this avatar process first, or you're going to end up spending thousands of dollars to get those 10,000 likes.
Well, I can get anything for free. I don't want free.
Right. But if you can get 10,000 likes for under $100, then you would do it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So that's one of the trainings we're working on. We're probably going to have that be coming out in, I don't know. The beta testers will get it first. So let me share the beta tester link so that you guys can connect with me, all right?
Yes, and also I announced that the beta testers this morning, so you may get some. I sent you an email. I don't
We
know if you
had
got
more people come in as beta testers.
I sent you an email this morning, said, and then you're also giving away a book, correct? What was it? What else were you giving away last night?
I was giving the link to the book on Amazon because I wanted to make sure that people read this. This is the best book on the subject. Just send an email like this, become a beta tester, to support@ufunnel.net, subject beta access, your name, phone number, and your UE username. And I would acknowledge a few people that did that. And hopefully we'll get, I'm a big 10X guy. I don't know if you ever read the 10, How to 10X Your Business, Grant Cardone or something like that. It's a great book on mindset of 10Xing everything you do. Think about that, okay? It goes both ways. Think about this. If through your mindset and what you learn in these Tuesday, Thursday trainings, you can 10X your conversions, and through some of the avatar stuff I'm teaching you, you can 10X the cost savings on your spend. That is 100X increase on your business than what you're currently doing. That's why I'm doing all this. Because once you start seeing it's going to be like popcorn. You're going to pop, and then you're going to go, oh my God, I get it. And don't feel like you have to be an expert. The only part I cannot do for you is defining your avatar. Once you have a very clear avatar description, just like chapter 1 of this book, and you actually have it charted out and you know who that person is, like Super Affiliate Liz for me, I'm only going after that and I'm repelling everyone else. That's it. I'm not even going to target men for that, because I know I'm going to talk to a woman differently than I talk to a man, wouldn't I, in an email? So this is the level of detail you have to go into. And you've said it yourself, Joe. Joe Need just said, we got Terry Smith, Joe, Kelly Watt, let's see, Mark L, Mira, shout out to you guys. Let's see, Craig, Doug, Linda. We got a lot of people connecting with us. Send me a personal email, guys. That goes directly into my mailbox. It's on my alert list. It's above everything else. And I have please don't share that. Don't share that email with anyone outside the company. That's private for only people in either you or in your team.
In that woman, Myra, if I can give a shout out to Myra, I mentioned her last week. Myra, she got 300 solo ads. Okay, so she ran 300 people. She had 140 actually come all the way through. I think of that number, correct me, Myra, there were like 30 people who gave all of the information. They filled out every field. And then she had, I don't know, 20% of those went ahead and got themselves a test account, right?
Mm-hmm. I purchased 300 solo ad clicks. Let me, 141 leads in the back office with emails, 50% engaged at the first level, 31 leads with name, email, and phone number, and 6 U-Crew not paid members engaged at the third level. That gives me 37 leads with phone numbers and 104 leads with emails. That's crazy numbers. And we did that with a minimalist funnel. There's only one message because we engineered this thing in the right way, okay? And if you want custom stuff, contact me. Let's have a conversation. Send an email to support@ufunnel.net with your name, phone number, and your UE username. And I need to check these right now because if one of my developers said, Vic, what happens if they misspell their username and all of a sudden the commissions go to the wrong place? We're already seeing that happening right now. So if you're having these kind of challenges, make sure you contact us at support. But the people who are doing it right, like Myra, you're crushing it, okay? So use the U-funnel. I can give you the links now. I know we're 1 minute past the hour. Do you have another appointment, or could I talk a few more minutes?
We can have a couple. We do have another meeting coming up in about 45 minutes, but you have some time, Victor. Absolutely.
Okay. I wanted to go through a quick screen share about how to get started with your MailChimp real quick. Can we share your screen?
Mine?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, because I'm an agency and there's privacy things inside of my clients and I can't really share my screen. But
all right, well, I'm going to have to stop sharing your screen. And
yeah,
I did recently get I did recently get myself a free a free account with MailChimp. So there's my screen. Can you see it? It's got my page there.
Okay, so okay. I like training, so I'm going to go in and do a countdown again. Hey guys, if you're seeing this, watch or stay tuned to the next video. And if you haven't yet purchased, or get back to the person who sent you to this video and make sure you enroll in order to receive the next video. Bye now. I'm Vic, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone. I'm Victor Grant here with the MailChimp training on how to get started with your MailChimp account and also how to grant agency access so that your team can help you get your funnels loaded into your autoresponder. So we've now assumed that you know who your audience is, you know what your customer avatar is, and you're ready to log in your MailChimp account. If you haven't already done so, go create a free MailChimp account at MailChimp.com. You can see you can sign up for free. And the terms of MailChimp are your first 2,000 leads are free, okay? So just log into your MailChimp account, and I'll show you where you can set these things up.
Okay, let me see. What I'll do is I'll go and we'll start from scratch. Let me see if this...
That's the best thing to do.
Mm-hmm. There it is. This is believe it or not, I've had this for years, Victor. Life Path Unlimited. That was from 2000, and I think the last time I used this account was 2010. Pretty cool, huh? They're still there.
Okay, so I talk a lot about campaigns. We're not going to be creating a campaign. What we're going to be doing is creating a list. So go to lists. Okay, now create a list. Click create list on the right-hand side.
Okay, let me see. Let me move this box because I can't see that. Oh, here we go. Okay, there we go. Create a list. You can see that?
Create list. And we're going to call this U economy. And you want to have your default from address. And my recommendation strongly is it would be like your first name at your.com, okay? Or your .net. I actually prefer .net names over .com names because I've been on the internet for so long, and I actually was around before .com existed. We always had .net, .edu, or .org. And I always had a .net name because I was an ISP, or an internet service provider, providing hosting ever since the 90s. So you put in your default from address.
Okay, so that's my
from name.
I mentioned before that's NW4G is kind of connected to my. There's Joseph Spielberg, my ex-girlfriend. She said, you give good rap. I'm going to name you Joseph.
No, your from name should be Joe Need.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then write a short reminder how the recipient joined your list.
So this would be like Facebook fan page.
No. This is really critical. You want to have something warm and friendly, because when people are unsubscribing or they're reporting you as a spammer, MailChimp is going to put this on the screen to remind them why they joined in the first place. So you heard about me through my funnel, which was talking about entrepreneurship or digital franchise. Someone posted that in there. Through digital franchise. And I'm supporting you with coaching, news, and information to help you with your online business. That's your opportunity to speak to your avatar. Okay? Speak to your avatar. Guys, you got to get this. I had this epiphany and realization that email lists and building your list is kind of dead, but it really isn't. Let me explain why. If you realize that your list only has a shelf life of maybe 2 weeks, it used to be 6 months. When I got started, you would have email lists that would last for 5 or 6 years. But nowadays, it's around 2 weeks. Okay? That means if they don't buy from you within 2 weeks, they're gone. You might as well delete them off your list and not pay the money, because they're not going to do anything. Okay? So then you have that stuff, and scroll down to the bottom.
Okay, is that good? It said you heard about me through digital franchising. I'm happy to support you with coaching, news, and support for your online franchise
let's
business.
Scroll down, and then now here's notifications. Meredith and others were wanting instant notifications when people join. You want to basically put in one by one if you want. I don't like them. I prefer no notification, because I actually like logging into things and using apps. But if you want an email sent to you, you just click one by one, and then they basically will notify you whenever someone joins your list. So hit save. You can always remove that later. Okay, now you have a brand new list. Okay, so now you go over to settings. Go to settings. And now go to list name and defaults. Okay, you see this 3BB0E807? List ID on the right-hand side.
There we go. I'm sorry. I can't see. You're right on top of it. Let me slide this box over here. Okay, yes, I do.
Okay, copy that and save it into a notepad. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding this to your UEconomy back office so that these two accounts will be linked. So when a lead comes in to UEconomy, it's now going to show up inside of your list. Copy that.
I did.
Okay, paste it into like Notepad, because we have to have this and the other place.
Okay, should I go into my UEconomy?
Not yet, because you probably need to save it somewhere else first. Copy it to a notepad. And you at
Okay.
home, when you're watching this, you're probably going to gray out, blur out the actual numbers from the replay video, but you'll want to follow this exact process. When you're copying and pasting, keep a notepad open and put all the numbers inside of your notepad and then save them. If you're using Fastmail, which I shared with you before, the notepad is right inside of your email account, and you can keep all your important codes and API keys and all that stuff in one place so you don't lose it. Okay? Did you save that?
Yes, I have it.
Okay, great. So now what you want to do is go to Life Path Unlimited. Let me make sure I'm steering you in the right place. Go to the L at the top. On the very, very top bar, there's an L.
I don't see an L here.
Big orange L.
There it is.
Yeah. Go to
Sorry.
Account. Go to Extras, I think. Keep going up.
Here's extras right here.
Yeah. Go to API keys. Okay. And says you don't have any API keys. Scroll down. Create a key. That's it. Now copy that key, API key.
Okay.
Okay, and paste it in your notepad.
Where's my
It's
notepad?
actually pretty simple. And now that you've done it, Joe, you could teach others how to do it.
All right. I just wanted to jump in here. We're already 12 minutes past the hour, and there's another training that's taking place, and it's suspended. They got the training on hold until we conclude.
Okay.
Okay. So we could. I can. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to revisit this. I'm going to watch this video and go over this again.
Well, can we complete this one task? It'll take 2 more minutes.
Okay.
Log into your Ueconomy back office. Okay, go to autoresponder.
Integrations? Oh, no. Autoresponder here?
Uh-huh. And go to MailChimp and click the connect button. No, I don't know how you got there. What did you do?
I don't know. I didn't do anything. There we go.
Okay, so you're inside of there. Click on the MailChimp connect button. Put that key in there and click connect.
Boom.
Okay, now click refresh list. You switched keys.
Refresh list here in MailChimp?
No, in the dashboard.
Okay, where's it here? Sorry, let me move this out of the way again.
Okay, so that's how you get your API key into that.
I don't see a refresh my list here.
There's a green button right there.
Oh, there we go. Forgive me. MailChimp update.
Okay, good.
Close. So there it is.
So you're connected. If you click that button and you get it, now you're connected. In our next training, we're going to show you how to integrate this and also how to set up your funnel so that your automated sequence happens automatically as soon as people are triggered inside of your Ueconomy. I know you got to go. It'll be another 5 or 10 minutes to fix that, but we don't have time now, so we'll do that at the beginning of the next one.
And you know what I'm going to do, Victor, is I'm going to take your advice. Last night you said that I think you and I were having a conversation. You said so much stuff on YouTube is about do it yourself. How do I do something? I'm going to shoot my own little video on how our people can connect their MailChimp. I'll keep it short, 5 minutes, and we'll make that available to everybody in U-Economy. I'll be your beta tester.
You already are beta tester. You send an email, so thank you.
You're very, very welcome. There it is. All right, let me stop sharing my screen, I think. Stop share, and we'll get out of here. We're 15 minutes over the hour. I've gotten some people hitting me up. It's actually Meredith is like, Joe, please tell Victor we got to go. She's holding up on a training right now. Thank you, everybody who took the time to join us here. Victor, go ahead.
If you want to become a beta tester and connect with me directly, send an email to that address along with that information, and I'll see you at the next training on Friday.
Victor, you're awesome. We'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Stay tuned. Make sure you're checking us out on the Facebook page. We'll post the video here, this video on the Facebook page. Also, the Facebook page is a U-Economy Company. That's the only one that really matters. And also, remember the radio show weekdays at 12 noon Eastern, U Radio Live. Until then, Victor, you are awesome. Thank you very much for the time that you're taking and the information.